Hey everybody, I'm Brian with Knox Company, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install a new shower rod in your bathroom. This is a curved chrome shower rod that I found on Amazon, and I'll show you guys how to install it, and it's the same as it goes for many other shower rods you'll find. I'll put a link for this one in the video. This one's really strong. It went up really easy. Let's go. So this is the box that it comes in. It's a chrome curved shower rod. Again, the link will be here in the description. But I just needed this for our shower. It came with this old rod that we wanted to replace, and we also wanted to give ourselves a little bit more space in the shower, so we decided to go with one of these curved shower rods. It says it fits most standard sizes. This is important here. You want to set these brackets about 3 inches back from the face of your bathtub, depending on what the shape is. But the instructions are pretty easy to read. The hardware feels very well made. It feels heavy, and the chrome finish is nice. And so it looks like we're going to probably have to take these apart to mount them first. Everything comes packaged nicely, and it comes with all the screws and drywall anchors that you would need. First thing we got to do is see where we're going to set this new rod at. And I used the old one as a reference, and you want about at least, I'd say about 3 to 6 inches of your shower curtain to hang on the inside. This is already kind of working for us around this height, so I can go up or down about 1 inch, but I want to keep it around this height. So I'm going to use the old shower rod height as a current height or reference. I'm going to whip out my laser level and kind of keep it within the same range, and I'll show you guys here how I use my laser level. I'll put a link for one of these as well in the description. I use these laser levels on all my projects. It comes in handy. Again, I didn't realize I would use this as much as I do, but I put this up on the counter, and I just kind of slowly bring my laser level down to where I would like. And I'm gonna, again, use this old rod as a reference before I take it down. And I kind of want to stay around these grout lines, and I'll show you why here in a minute. If you can try to use a grout line within your tile, it is going to make it a lot easier. It's not impossible, but it makes it a lot easier and faster when you can use the grout lines as a reference. But to make sure they're level, I still use this laser level. So I disassembled the bracket, and just a screw on the top, a screw on the bottom, and I'm going to use this actual bracket as a reference to mark my holes wherever I want to drill. And I'm just going to center the bracket on that laser line. This crack right here in the grout or the tile runs almost straight with the edge of the bathtub, and it said you want to go about 3 inches back. These tiles are about 3.5 inches. So I'll go back to the next grout line, and that's probably where I'm going to actually mount both of these. And I'm going to use my concrete or tile drill bits to do that and set these anchors in the wall. And to choose a size, I like to start smaller, and if I have to, I can work my way bigger. So we'll go with the smaller drill bit first that looks about the right width, and we're going to drill right on these grout lines. So you can see I marked the holes from the bracket itself. I just take a pencil, mark it through the holes there, center the bracket on the laser, and then I hit it with this drill bit. Key with this is just taking your time. Don't force it through, let the drill bit do the work. And because you're drilling on a grout line, hopefully it'll eat right through the grout really easy and fast. If you have to drill through a tile itself, again, take your time. Do not push through it. That is how you're going to crack a tile. But to avoid cracking tiles, try to use the grout line, and you'll see right here in a second when it goes all the way through. It's a perfect clean hole. It just kind of ate around the edges of the tile, and you're definitely not going to crack a tile doing it this way. And then you can put your drywall anchors or the anchors for the screws right in those holes. These should slip right in. And if you have to, you can use a light hammer. I use a rubber tip hammer to hammer them in all the way. And then I just did the same thing on the other side, drilled those holes. Everything's perfectly level because of this laser level. And I just keep that line up there the whole time just as a reference. And it keeps everything nice and clean and even. So now we got the brackets going in. I'll show you here. I just kind of put the top one in. The holes line up perfectly because I used this bracket as a reference for the original holes or the marks. And then we can just screw these in. I like to do this by hand just so we don't over tighten them. but you can use a drill, just be careful. Once you have these in, you just put it back together the way you took it apart. Slip in the other piece, put a screw in from the top and the bottom, and with this exactly you can, this exact unit, you can actually tighten it down and it leaves enough room for it to move. Then we can put in the actual shower rod itself, and it kind of telescopes. One piece goes within the other piece and it expands to the width that you need. And there's a little bit of a trick on how we put this up, and I'll show you here in a minute. But we're obviously going to start with feeding it in on one side. There's that little Allen key set on the bottom there. Once you get it fed in, you can tighten down that little screw. It's a little set screw, it keeps it from moving. So to get the shower rod in all the way, I actually expanded it to the width, tightened down the anchor on one side, I tightened it down the bottom, and you actually leave the other side disassembled with the two screws top and bottom, and you're going to actually feed this side in first, feed it into this side, expand it all the way, and then actually put the piece within the bracket, then put the set screws in. This was a little trick that I had to kind of figure out. It took a minute for trial and error, but you can see that this side is not secure yet and that side is. This is how you're going to get a tight fit, and you're going to be able to telescope that rod all the way across. Tighten the set screw in, expand the bar in the middle, and then set your screws on the other bracket, and that will secure the whole thing together. It's a little trick I figured out, should help speed your installation along. So now we have everything all set. It looks perfectly even. Everything looks level. Took maybe about 10 to 15 minutes total. This thing feels really sturdy. It's very strong. And because the screws are set really well on the wall, it can hold a decent amount of weight. Definitely will have no problem holding the shower curtain that we want. And this is just a shower curtain that we found at Costco. It was a whole set. I'm not really loving the rings that slide, but again, you can do all that kind of stuff yourself with your own style. But this was just a full kit that we found. This is a rental house that we have, so the landlord's cool with us installing these, and they actually gave us a little bit of credit back on our rent, which was nice. But because this shower curtain rod was only about 20-30 bucks, it wasn't really that expensive anyways. So again, I'll put a link in the bottom for you guys. If you want to install any other type of shower curtain, they usually install in a very similar way. You're going to have to drill some holes in the tile. Hopefully this video helps you out. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the description or the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next build.